Welcome to the Virtual Classroom Moderator Guide. In this video, I'm going to talk about managing your live session. This is the first of several videos on managing your live session, and in this particular video, we're just going to cover the basics. The parts of your screen, what the whiteboard does, and what those annotation tools can do. After you launch your virtual classroom meeting, you're brought to this main landing page. I recommend that before you're ready to start talking, you go ahead and mute your microphone. To mute and unmute your microphone, this is just a toggle button. So you can click it to unmute and mute it again. You'll get this notification if it senses that you're talking, but your microphone is muted, so it'll help you prevent talking into the void. Go ahead and unmute your microphone when you're ready to start your presentation though. You might like to share your webcam. That can be done here. You click the button here, you click Share Camera, and then you want to make sure that you click Allow on the pop-up here. To unshare your camera, click the video menu again and click Unshare. And then your camera's gone. Virtual Classroom will allow up to 7 cameras on at a time, including yours. In future sessions, we'll talk about also how to share your screen. When you share your screen, or over here if you would like to add a presentation, those things will appear here on the whiteboard. Up here, there's the notification that this meeting is currently not recording. All you have to do is click this, and now you know the session is being recorded. If you'd like to stop recording, you can click it again and stop recording. Only the portions of a virtual classroom that are recorded are archived in your Panther Learn shell. None of the portions that are not recorded will be saved. Over here, this green cone says that I'm getting pretty good internet signal right now. My bandwidth is pretty solid. This may go down to orange or red, and that will signal that your bandwidth is a little slow. One way to improve your bandwidth is to plug your computer directly into the internet through an Ethernet cord, rather than relying solely on Wi-Fi. That can be a good trick. Over here you have a menu of items, settings for the meeting, about the meeting. You can also end the meeting or leave the meeting. We'll talk more about those later. Over here you have 2 icons. This icon is the user list toggle, and if you click it, it will open the user list. And so I can see there are 2 people in this meeting. There's myself and there's a test student. When I click on the test student's name, I could chat in a private chat with the test student, and only the test student would see that message. It would not be in the public chat. I can also make the test student the presenter. I could remove the user, or I could promote them to moderator. Currently, my role in this virtual classroom session is both moderator and presenter. If I take the test student 5 and promote them to the presenter, then they'll have the ability to add presentations and share their screen. For example, right now, let's take a look at the virtual classroom as the test student 5 sees it. Here's what a test student sees, someone who's just participating in the session. They can share their webcam if they'd like, and they can join audio how they'd like. I notice up here that the test student, there's a little red dot here, which is a notification that this test student has a chat message. So the test student can open it up and see that message that says hello. And then the student can choose whether or not that user list is open, independent of how I have it open. So I'm the moderator here, and I have this user list and the chat box open, but the test student has chosen to have neither open. Each person has control over their own virtual classroom session. So if I'm now in the moderator role, and I say, test student, I'm going to make you presenter. Now I have lost that actions button, and I've lost the ability to move slides forward, and I've lost the screen share. If I go here to view the test student's view, now the test student has the actions item. The test student now has the ability to share their screen, and the test student can advance slides. So that's what happens when you promote someone as a presenter. Going back now to my moderator virtual classroom session, I can then make myself presenter again. And that's how I take the presenter status away from the student. So your user list can do a lot more than just show you who's in your classroom. If you click on the students' names, you get multiple options. Also, you can track the students' audio status, whether they're listening only, whether their microphone is muted, and if their microphone is on and they're talking, then the icon beside their name will pulse, so you get a visual indication of which person is talking. So now let's talk about the chat. Again, I can click this button to toggle open the public chat. It's nice to welcome class with a chat message. Maybe an itinerary, maybe some notes of what you're going to do in that session. Here too, everyone will see phone numbers where they may dial in to the session if for some reason they lose internet or their service is disrupted. In addition to sending simple messages like this, I can also send a file over chat. You just click this button, Send File, and you can open up your documents, and then it displays here as a link where then students can click that link to access a PDF or a Word document or an image. That's a really helpful function if students are saying that there's something on the whiteboard they can't see because maybe it's a little bit smaller. You can always just send the file right over chat. They can open it on their own computer and manipulate it and make it as large as they'd like. The other thing that you can send in a chat is a hyperlink to a URL. While you're in the virtual classroom session, you can open a new tab in Chrome or Edge and navigate a place like YouTube, and you can go to a really cool video like this one from the Faculty Services YouTube page about creating self-enrollment groups in PantherLearn, and you can copy that link and then go back to your live session and right-click and paste. And then send the chat on its way. And now your students can also click on that link and watch the video. So if I go back to how my test student is viewing this class, previously the test student did not have the chat box open, but now there's this red notification that may prompt the student to open it. And then they'll see some additional items have been added in chat. And so the student can open this link, which will open in a new tab. And here, the student could watch the video, and then when they're done, go back to the virtual classroom session. So this chat is very functional. So now I'm back in my moderator guide. Up here too, there are some chat options. You can download the entire chat if you'd like to. You could copy the entire chat, or if things have gotten out of hand for some reason, you could also clear the chat. If the session is being recorded, the chat, as well as all files and links, will be saved with that recording. But if for some reason you're not recording a session and you want to save the chat anyway, you do have that option here. The other thing you might want to explore are these annotation tools. These annotation tools may be used with either a desktop or mobile device, such as an iPad with a pencil. You can also use a mobile device with a touch screen, which can give you a little bit more control than, say, a mouse could. You can click on the icon at the top to bring up all of the tools options. You have included here text, drawing tools, and a pointer. If you choose the text box, it will display here, and then you'll get additional menu items such as the font size and the color of your text. To use the text box, draw a box, release your mouse, and then you see that little cursor blinking. You can just start typing right in that text box. You could press enter, change the color of the font, change the size of the font, etc. You could press undo to get rid of it. Or if you want to move on to a different topic, you could just go to the next slide and then revisit it at a later time. The student will see live everything that you're typing here. So this is the student view. Notice they can't move the slides forward and backward, so they would need to request a slide going forward or backward, but they would see everything that you're typing there on the whiteboard. In addition to typing, you could draw lines to underline something for emphasis. Again, you can change the thickness and the color. You could draw a shape to highlight something on a PowerPoint. You could draw a triangle. You could draw a rectangle, etc. And then you can freehand if you'd like. My freehand is always awful, so I avoid that. I'll undo it. Down here, there is multi-user mode. So if I turn that on, the icon changes, and that means not only can I, as the presenter, use the annotation tools on the whiteboard, but so too can the students. So if I go here to my student view, the test student now could choose a tool, such as a rectangle, and make the color blue, and test student 5 now draws a rectangle. And then if I go back to my presenter mode, I can see now that the test student 5 drew that rectangle. So this covers the basics of managing your live session, including utilizing the whiteboard and annotation tools together, how to manage the user list and change roles for individual users, how to get the most out of chat. To learn more, visit the Help Center on PantherLearn or go to the Faculty Services Professional Development page. You can always email facultyservices@ohiodominican.edu with questions, concerns, things you want to try, etc. We're here to help. Have a good one.